Hey, I just finished editing this video. It is now 4:30 in the morning, and I have to go to work in 3 hours. Well, anyways, I hope you like this video. Enjoy the show. The day of the party. Atsumu's room looks like a crime scene of glitter, fake blood, and last-minute panic. There's a half-empty bag of Halloween decorations on the floor, costume pieces hanging off the chair, and Suna sitting cross-legged on the bed, holding a makeup brush like it's a weapon. Stop moving. You're gonna make me mess this up. Yeah, taking forever. I coulda done this myself. Suna raises an eyebrow. Yeah, and end up looking like a clown? You're already halfway there. Osamu, from the doorway, says, he is going as Joker, right? Clown's kinda the point. Atsumu glares at him through the mirror, lips pressed together as Suna starts smudging dark eyeshadow under his eyes. He looks good, too good, and he knows it. But every time he catches his own reflection, that smirk fades just a little, replaced by something quieter. Something that reminds him of him. Sakusa Kayumi. Yeah, real quiet. That's suspicious. In just concentrating trying not to sneeze with all this powder near my nose. Sure, definitely not thinking about a certain curly-haired, black-eyed volleyball player. Suna, who's probably gonna look unfairly good tonight. Suna. Osamu snorts. If you're gonna scream Suna's name now, imagine later at the party when we push you to talk to him. I hate both of ya. But he doesn't. Not really. He needs their teasing. It's the only thing keeping him from thinking too hard about what happens when he actually sees Sakusa again. Suna sets the brush down, squinting like a painter stepping back from his masterpiece. Alright. Don't move. He grabs his phone, angles it toward Atsumu. What are you doing? Documentation. I wanna remember what peak insanity looks like. Flash. Atsumu flinches. You better delete that, I swear. Nah, keep it. We'll use it for your wedding slideshow. My what? To who? Suna, grinning, to Sakusa, duh. Atsumu groans so loud it almost drowns out the ping from Osamu's phone. Toru Senpai sparkles. In the Halloween group chat. Jack-o'-lantern. Party starts in 1 hour. Don't be late, love's kiss mark. Location pinned, costumes mandatory. Suna whistles low. 1 hour, huh? You nervous, Tsumu? Do I look nervous? Yeah, like you're about to propose or puke. Or both. Atsumu throws a fake punch that Suna dodges easily. The twins bicker as usual, but the words fade in his ears the moment he glances at his reflection again. Messy green hair, dark eyes, a smirk painted just slightly too sharp. Joker. Dangerous. Unpredictable. Perfect mask for someone who can't stop overthinking. And under all that makeup, his chest is tight. Because somewhere out there, Sakusa's getting ready too. Maybe already wearing the mask. Maybe already looking perfect. Atsumu swallows. Let's just go before I change my mind. The drive is loud, music, laughter, Suna's camera flash going off every 2 minutes. By the time they step into the house, it's already chaos. Lights low, fog machine working overtime, neon ghosts taped to the walls. Someone's blasting a remix of Thriller and there's glitter in the air. Atsumu stops by the door, eyes wide. Holy shit. They went all out. Ain't that Oikawa's whole personality? Yeah, drama queen energy. Respectfully, people turn when they walk in, partly because the twins are impossible to miss, partly because Atsumu looks like sin incarnate. Green hair glinting under the strobe, red paint dripping down his jaw just right, that Joker smile almost too real. Suna leans close to talk to Tsumu. You're eating this up, huh? I just look good. You look dangerous. He looks like heartbreak in a costume. I know, right? Atsumu laughs, but it's shaky. Every glance, every cheer, every touch on his shoulder, it's fine. Fun, even. But none of it hits where it should. Because he's waiting. He doesn't even know for what exactly, until Suna nudges him halfway through a drink. You're staring at the door, dude. No, I'm not. Sure, and I'm not recording this for later. Atsumu glares, but his eyes flicker back to the entrance anyway. The party's in full swing now, music pulsing through the floor, laughter spilling over every table, Oikawa's decoration choices towing the line between classy and absolutely unhinged. Spiderweb lights, candy bowls everywhere, and a fog machine that hasn't stopped since they arrived. Suna and Osamu are inseparable, black suits, sunglasses, matching smirks. They look like trouble, but the good kind. Atsumu, on the other hand, is already drawing attention. Everywhere he walks, people double take. Someone dressed as a vampire even stops mid-conversation just to stare. And Atsumu, because he can't help himself, grins wider. You see that? Suna murmurs to Osamu. He's gonna break some hearts tonight. Osamu chuckles, slipping an arm around Suna's waist. Atsumu shoots them both a look. Can you all go 5 minutes without turning this into a rom-com? Suna smirks. Nope. Before Atsumu can retort, Oikawa appears out of nowhere, literally gliding through a cloud of fog like he's on a runway. He's in a perfectly tailored vampire prince costume, complete with a velvet cape and red contacts. Oh my god, you guys look incredible. Men in Black and Joker, iconic. You get my approval. He flicks a plastic fang between his teeth. Atsumu, sweetie, if you don't end the night with at least one person crying over you, I'll be personally offended. Atsumu laughs, rubbing the back of his neck. I'll do my best, Wednesday. Oikawa gasps. How dare you? But he's already being dragged away by someone dressed as a werewolf, muttering something about photo ops. The trio can barely catch their breath before Sugar waves them over. He's perched on a couch, drink in hand, dressed like a glittery fallen angel, halo crooked, wings slightly off balance, looking like mischief wrapped in light. There you are. You guys took your time. Atsumu, babe, I love the look. Menace energy suits you. Thanks, I think. Suna drops onto the armrest beside him, stealing a sip of Osamu's drink. He's looking dangerous tonight, ain't he? Ready to break hearts. He glances at Atsumu with a sly grin. Or maybe win one. From a certain someone. Sugar arches a brow, amused. Oh, someone special. Osamu's shoulders shake with laughter. Don't encourage him, Suga-san. Atsumu, pretending to check his phone, mutters, there ain't anyone. Sugar hums knowingly. Right. And I'm not married to Daichi. They all laugh, but Atsumu's heart's still beating too fast. Because somewhere in this crowd, behind all the music and noise, he's waiting. Not that he'll admit it. Not yet. He grabs another drink just to keep his hands busy. The laughter fades around him, just a little, replaced by that familiar ache in his chest, the one that comes from pretending not to care. The night keeps spinning, louder, messier, brighter. The house is packed now, fog and strobe lights melting into a blur of faces and fake fangs. Someone turned the living room into a mini dance floor, and there's glitter stuck to the floorboards that'll probably never come out again. Near the snack table, Daichi's in a police uniform that's way too convincing for comfort, and he's trying to wrangle Hinata, who's halfway through stuffing candy into his hoodie pocket. Hinata, that's for everyone. I am everyone. Put it back. No, it's mine now. Sugar, sipping his drink with a smirk, that's my officer husband. Good luck. Daichi glares over his shoulder. You're not helping. Sugar raises his glass in mock salute. I wasn't trying to. Across the room, chaos has its own corner. Maki and Matsun are doubled over laughing by the couch, recording Yahaba and Kayotani mid-argument. Yahaba, exasperated, arms crossed, you can't just growl at people when they bump into you. Kayotani didn't like his face. You never like anyone's face. Maki almost chokes on his drink. Oh my god, this is a married couple fight. Matsun wheezes, trying to keep the camera steady. Do we get them a cake or a counselor? Both. One for the vows, one for the therapy. Osamu's laughing too hard to breathe. Suna's filming everything like it's a nature documentary. Meanwhile, Atsumu's smiling, but his eyes keep flicking toward the entrance again and again, like gravity keeps pulling him there. He tells himself it's nothing. That he's just curious. That he's not watching the door because he's waiting for him. Still, when Oikawa dims the lights for a moment and the room bursts into cheers, Atsumu's heart lurches for no reason at all. Suna notices. Yeah, doing that thing again. What thing? The whole pretend I'm not staring at the door like a kicked puppy thing. Atsumu scoffs, fake grin sharp as a blade. Shut up. I'm just enjoying the view. MMHM. Sure. Osamu leans against him with that twin intuition that never fails. He's gonna show up, you know. He always does. Yeah, well, maybe I don't care this time. He says it, but his chest doesn't believe it. The music changes, heavier bass, darker beat, and the lights flicker in time with his pulse. But for now, he forces himself to sink back into the chaos. If Sakusa's coming, he can wait. He can play it cool. Or at least try to. The laughter dies before Atsumu even realizes why. It starts small, just a ripple of murmurs near the door, a subtle shift in energy that spreads like static. Then the crowd parts, and the fog catches on someone's silhouette. Tall, calm, effortlessly composed. Sakusa Kyumi. He steps through the doorway like he owns it, black-gloved hand adjusting the edge of his ghost face mask now pushed up to rest above his curls. The loose strands fall perfectly against his forehead, framing a face that looks unfair under the flickering lights. His costume shouldn't be that good, shouldn't be that hot. A black tactical shirt clings to his arms like second skin, the fabric tight around his biceps, flexing slightly as he pushes the mask back. A fake knife dangles from his belt, and the glint of a silver chain peeks just under the collar where the neckline dips a little too low. There's fake blood smeared across his jaw, a streak right near his lips, like he just stepped out of some R-rated thriller. He's not even trying. That's what makes it worse. He's all precision and quiet confidence, moving through the fog like gravity bends for him. And right behind him, a woman. Tall, elegant, with soft waves of dark hair cascading down her back. Her costume catches the light, a black lace dress that hugs her waist and spills into a sheer train. Tiny spiderweb patterns shimmer across the fabric. Her makeup is hauntingly pretty, silver around her eyes, a small fake spider resting delicately near her collarbone. A spider queen, of course. She laughs at something Sakusa says, her hand brushing his arm lightly as they step further inside. Atsumu doesn't even hear the music anymore. The bass fades. The crowd fades. Even Suna's voice is just background static. It's like the whole room blurs out, all fog and color and noise, except for him. The ghost face mask dangling from Sakusa's hand. The curl that refuses to stay out of his eyes. The way his lips move when he talks. And that woman, the one close enough to touch him, lean in, smile like she's allowed to. Suna's voice finally cuts through the haze. Shit. Osamu whistles low. Well, didn't see that coming. Atsumu forces a laugh that cracks at the edges. Guess he didn't come alone. He tosses his empty cup onto the nearest table and grabs another drink he won't taste. Suna, eyes narrowing, leans closer. You okay? Atsumu's mouth curls into a smirk that's all performance. Course I am. Why wouldn't I be? But his chest is tight, a slow, quiet burn under his ribs. Because the sight of Sakusa under that light, looking that good, that untouchable, with someone else right there beside him, feels like the cruelest kind of trick. The kind you don't even realize you fell for until it's too late. The room starts breathing again, but Atsumu doesn't. He forces himself to move, to laugh, to exist, while the air around him hums with new noise. Someone turns the music up again, a chorus of voices rises, and yet it all feels distant, like he's underwater. Everywhere he looks, there's motion, color, life. And still, his eyes find him. Sakusa, moving through the crowd with that same measured calm, the kind that shouldn't be this magnetic. The woman beside him leans in to say something, smiling in that soft, quiet way that makes it look like she belongs next to him. Atsumu drains his drink and tells himself he's fine. Yeah, staring again, Suna murmurs. I ain't. Atsumu lies. Yeah, blinking once every 5 minutes. I'm just observing. Yeah, observing the guy who has no idea. Yeah, brains on fire. Shut up. They laugh, but Suna's gaze lingers, too perceptive, too kind for this kind of night. Then, like fate wants to twist the knife, Sakusa and the woman turn toward them. She's holding 2 drinks. He's following her lead. And before Atsumu can slip away, they are already standing right there. Hi, Sakusa says, simple, low, smooth enough to sound polite but not quite warm. His eyes flicker down, then up again, slow, assessing, stopping right at the edge of Atsumu's painted grin. You really came. Atsumu swallows the instinct to laugh. Wouldn't miss it. His voice comes out too light, too casual, but his pulse betrays him. The woman smiles, soft, genuine. I love your costume. You really committed, huh? Atsumu nods, forcing a grin. Guess so. Yes, looks great too. Thanks. I'm Suna, cutting in before she can finish. Spider Queen, right? She brightens. Exactly. Fits the vibe. Sakusa's gaze flickers sideways. He looks at Suna, at Osamu, then back at Atsumu, and the smallest smile tugs at the corner of his mouth, so faint it might be imagined. Good to see you. Yeah, Atsumu answers, the word catching in his throat. You too. The silence stretches, sharp and heavy. Then the woman gently tugs on Sakusa's arm. Kiyo, come on. We should go find Komori's friends before he gets here. Kiyo. The name hits like a nail in the chest. Atsumu's jaw clenches, but he nods, pretending to be fine. Sakusa hesitates, just a second, maybe less, then, right, see you later. And he walks away, the hem of his black shirt brushing against her hand as they disappear into the fog and colored lights. Holy shit, Oikawa breathes nearby, materializing like he's been summoned by drama. Did that just happen? Did he actually bring a date? Sugar joins him, brows furrowed. Wait, no. I think I've seen her before. You know her? Sugar, snapping his fingers, that's Komori's girlfriend, isn't it? I swear I've seen pictures. Oikawa gasps, delighted. Komori's. Then why's she here with Sakusa? Matsun, from across the couch, plot twist. She's probably just early. Still, yikes. Atsumu forces a grin, his hand tightening around the empty glass. Maybe they came together. Who cares? You do. Don't. You do. Drop it. But his heart's already somewhere else, somewhere between you really came and Kiyo, come on. The words keep echoing, crawling under his skin. The music thunders again, lights strobe across his face, and the Joker makeup cracks a little at the corner of his mouth. He laughs too loud at something Osamu says. He takes another drink. He keeps pretending the night isn't slipping away from him one heartbeat at a time. An hour passes. The air's gotten thicker, the fog machine's dying a slow, smoky death, and Atsumu's definitely tipsy. Not drunk, not yet, just warm, loose, that sweet spot where the edges start to blur and the thoughts you've been trying to bury keep slipping out anyway. He's on his third drink, maybe fourth, perched on the edge of the couch between Osamu and Suna. Oikawa's somewhere screaming along to a remix of Toxic, Maki's dancing on a table, and Daichi's resigned in the corner, watching Hinata duel a skeleton with glow sticks. Atsumu laughs, loud and easy, but it's got that slightly too loud sound that comes from trying too hard. Suna leans in, eyes half-lidded behind his shades. You're plastered. I'm not plastered. Yeah, halfway to confessing to the next person who makes eye contact with ya. Atsumu grins, a little crooked. So, maybe I should. You ain't confessing to him, that's for sure. Atsumu's smile falters. Didn't say I was. Suna hums, unconvinced. Across the room, Sakusa's standing near the drink table, mask off, curls messier than before, talking to a few players Atsumu doesn't recognize. The woman, Spider Queen, whatever her name is gone for the moment, probably looking for Komori. Sakusa looks relaxed. Too relaxed. Atsumu hates it. He tilts his head back against the couch, eyes half closed. Why ever get the feeling that someone's doing it on purpose? Doing what? Looking that damn good. Osamu groans. Jesus Christ, he's in his poetic era again. Suna, laughing, drunk Tsumu thinks in metaphors. Atsumu, mumbling into his drink, drunk Tsumu's honest. The bass hums through his chest. The room spins. And then he hears the door open again, the crowd cheering, and someone shouts, Komori is here. Atsumu looks up. Komori bursts in like a storm, bright grin and all, waving at everyone. The Spider Queen rushes straight into his arms, and he scoops her up like he's been waiting all night. It's quick, innocent, sweet, but to Atsumu, it feels like a gut punch and a relief at the same time. He laughs. Quietly, to himself. When he glances back towards Sakusa, the man's already watching him. Expression unreadable. Eyes dark. Atsumu looks away first. The moment breaks like glass, quiet, sharp, final. The noise of the party rushes back in, louder than before. He laughs at something Suna says, but it sounds hollow, like his voice doesn't belong to him anymore. The air inside feels too thick, too crowded, too full of things he doesn't wanna feel. Everywhere he looks, he sees pieces of it. Sakusa's laugh across the room, Komori's hand on his girlfriend's back, the way the lights flicker red and green and white until it all blurs together. He needs out. Before someone notices the crack in his smile. Before he does something stupid, like look again. So he sets his drink down, mumbles something about needing air, and slips through the crowd. Minutes later, he's outside. The air's cooler, easier to breathe, the noise of the party muffled behind him. He leans against the railing, phone in hand, pretending he's not hiding. The door opens. Should have guessed you'd end up out here, Sakusa says. His voice is low, smooth, cutting through the cold. Atsumu doesn't turn. Shouldn't you be with your friends? A pause. Then footsteps, closer. They're fine without me. Sakusa stops beside him, close enough that Atsumu can smell the faint mix of cologne and smoke. You thought she was with me, Sakusa says softly. Not a question. Atsumu's lips twitch. Didn't think anything. Don't flatter yourself. Sakusa laughs once, quiet, dark. You're a terrible liar. Atsumu turns his head, finally meeting his eyes. And you're real full of yourself. Maybe. Sakusa leans against the railing beside him. The fabric of his sleeve brushes Atsumu's arm, belly, and the contact makes something in him jolt. Didn't know Joker could blush, Sakusa murmurs. Atsumu's voice comes out lower than he means it to. Didn't know Ghostface talked this much. Sakusa smiles, slow, dangerous, all teeth. Guess you bring it out of me. The silence that follows is too thick to break. From inside, the music shifts again, something deeper, slower, and the lights from the window flash across Sakusa's face, catching on the silver chain around his neck. Atsumu looks away first, again. He always does. The corner of Sakusa's mouth lifts. He turns slightly, his shoulder brushing Atsumu's again, this time not by accident. Always so brave on the court, Sakusa murmurs, but out here, can't even look at me. Atsumu laughs once, shaky. Yeah, real entertainin', you know that? Only when you're nervous. Atsumu huffs, but his throat's dry. He can feel Sakusa's gaze, heavy, deliberate, the kind that makes it hard to stand still. You keep staring like that, and people'll think something's going on, Atsumu says, meaning it like a joke, but it comes out smaller than he planned. Sakusa's voice drops. Let them. Atsumu turns then, finally meeting his eyes, black, steady, unreadable. The space between them seems to shrink on its own. Sakusa's hand lifts just slightly, fingertips brushing a strand of green-tinted hair away from Atsumu's temple. You really went all in on this costume, he says quietly. Paint, glitter, even the heartbeat. Atsumu blinks. The, what? Sakusa's smile deepens, almost hidden. You can hear it from here. The words hang there, too close, too true. Atsumu's face warms instantly, he bites the inside of his cheek, trying to hold the line between laughing and stepping back. Yeah, such an ass, he mutters. Sakusa's reply is a low hum. Maybe. For a breath, neither moves. The night hums around them, the faint bass from inside, the wind pulling at their sleeves, the quiet rhythm of two people trying too hard not to cross the same line. Then, mercifully, someone calls from the doorway. Haikyuu. Komori's looking for you. Sakusa straightens, still watching him. The faintest smirk remains. Saved by the bell, he murmurs, stepping back. See you around, Joker. He disappears into the fog, leaving Atsumu leaning against the railing, cheeks burning, pulse too fast for the cold. What the hell just happened? To be continued.